There's stuff in the backpack is wet. I don't know.
It looks like there's water in this bag. I probably smashed it up against a rock when I was leaning, pushing in there.
It's totally...
Dual Survival is a reality TV series which aired on Discovery Channel for 9 seasons, from June 2010 to October 2016. During its run, it became one of the most prominent series in the survival genre, riding the wave of popularity set by shows such as Survivor and Bear Grylls' Man vs. Wild. It featured a pair of survival experts showcasing the best of their abilities in predetermined survival scenarios. One of the most prominent stars of the series was certainly the naturalist and primitive skills expert Cody Lundin, who appeared in the first 4 seasons of the show. While the main hosts of Dual Survival were later frequently subject to change, Cody's departure was perhaps one of the most surprising to fans. Cody Lundin has a lot of expertise as a survivalist. He was born in rural Arizona and raised an only child. After matriculating from a local high school, he started living in a naturalist commune with friends, and then in a bush shelter where he attended college in Prescott, Arizona, from which he graduated in 1989 with a degree in depth psychology and holistic health. He's the author of 2 books about wilderness survival, 98.6 Degrees, The Art of Keeping Your Ass Alive, and When All Hell Breaks Loose, Stuff You Need to Survive When Disaster Strikes. Today, Cody lives his life off the grid in a self-designed, sustainable solar earth home located in the wilderness of northern Arizona, where he runs the Aboriginal Living Skills School, which offers courses in outdoor survival and bushcraft. Prior to hosting Dual Survival, Cody was the host of another Discovery Channel series, Lost in the Wild, from 2004, which centered on solving missing persons cases in wilderness areas. While the series didn't last too long, Cody stayed in touch with Discovery Channel producers, who eventually invited him to take part in Dual Survival in 2010. Cody's expertise, along with his fun personality and sense of humor, made him a fan favorite. However, Cody's trouble with the show producers started during the 3rd season of the show, when his co-host Dave Canterbury was replaced by Joseph Teddy. Cody was featured in all the promo material prior to the release of season 4, and there was no sign of anything unusual happening until one episode showed Cody walking off set, visibly frustrated, so fans wondered if he would be coming back. Discovery Channel announced that Lundin was no longer a part of the show, which news came as a shock to fans, who were eager to find out what caused Cody's departure. Dear campers, unfortunately, I've been fired by Discovery Channel for differences over safety and health concerns on the show, and will no longer be a part of Dual Survival, Cody explained in a subsequent Facebook post. Although I'll miss elements of the show, what I'll miss most are my fans and the opportunity to teach, on a global level, life-saving skills, indigenous culture, and values of integrity and respect towards our natural world, Cody continued. Discovery Channel posted their own statement in response, saying, "We are always striving to get a lot of different takes on survival on our air, and we felt it was time for change." This statement further upset Cody, who claimed that their explanation for firing him was completely inaccurate. He also criticized the show's producers for implying that he quit the show because he couldn't handle the increasingly complex survival scenarios. Not only are these implications completely false, they question my professional experience, expertise, and integrity in a manner that I will not tolerate, he wrote in a further Facebook post. In 2016, the online tabloid TMZ reported that Cody had filed a defamation lawsuit against Discovery Channel for allegedly misrepresenting his character. The tabloid also reported that Cody's new co-host Joseph Teddy had been making him feel unsafe while on set, which was one of the main reasons for his departure. Apparently, Teddy openly threatened Cody's life on 2 separate occasions. According to Cody, while shooting in Norway, Teddy waved around an ice axe while threatening to bury Cody in the mountains, and later, during a shoot in Hawaii, Teddy threatened to kill him with a spear. Regarding the defamation lawsuit, the court eventually ruled in favor of Discovery Channel due to a lack of evidence to support Lundin's claims. District Judge Rosalind O'Silver noted that Cody willingly participated in an edited reality TV show and that his character wasn't misrepresented. Mr. Lundin was happy to participate in the charade as long as he was portrayed in the manner he preferred, she said. Judge Silver also found that Cody failed to demonstrate how exactly the show portrayed him in a negative light, pointing out that there were multiple scenes in the series which commended his mastery of survival skills, while calling his departure a big blow to the show. To this day, Cody Lundin's firing and subsequent lawsuit remains one of the biggest controversies of Dual Survival, but it's far from being the only shocking incident connected to the show. Cody's first co-host, Dave Canterbury, was let go in 2011 after it was revealed that he lied about his qualifications to be cast. In his resume, Dave wrote that he was a sniper in the US Army, which was later proven to be false, along with some other claims. After being released from the series, Dave posted an apologetic YouTube video, admitting that he lied. "Did I embellish some of the things on my resume? I did. I didn't do it to hurt anyone. I didn't do it to make things difficult for anyone in my family. I actually did it to, number 1, better my family," he stated. It was later revealed that Joe Teddy, much like his predecessor Dave, lied on his own application resume. He claimed to have served in the US Special Forces, in a military division so secret that he wasn't even allowed to name it, and also said that he'd completed the Special Forces Sniper and Special Forces Combat Diver training. Many veterans who watched the show found these claims hard to believe, and after a background check was done on Joe, it turned out that there were no records of him completing said Special Forces courses. However, he did serve in the US Military Special Forces, just not in any kind of secret unit, and was never deployed in combat, contrary to what he claimed on the show. As a result, Teddy was disavowed from the Special Forces Association, SFA. He's an embarrassment to the regiment because of the falsehoods, lies, and embellishments he's used in association with the Special Forces qualifications, said the former Army Sergeant Major George Davenport, a member of SFA. That's not the only controversy Joe was involved in, as he was actually forced to leave the show after a violent incident. He was shooting one of his final scenes of Season 6 when he attacked a dog and allegedly killed it. As per a TMZ report, Joe saw a group of stray cats running from a dog onto the set. When the dog nabbed one of them, Joe went after it, leaving it dead or gravely injured, depending on the reports. Following the incident, he was apparently banned from all Discovery Channel offices, while the executives tried to figure out what to do with dual survival. As a result, the show was cancelled, and Season 6 was condensed into only 4 episodes, while the network cut ties with both Teddy and Matt Graham, his co-host at the time. However, this cancellation lasted only a few months, returning for the 7th season in January 2016, with a completely new cast, consisting of Bill McConnell and Grady Powell. As it turned out, dual survival fans were not so keen on the sudden change, evidenced by the series' viewership dropping drastically after Joe, Teddy, and Matt Graham were released. While the first 6 seasons on the show averaged around 1.5 million viewers per episode, Season 7 failed to reach even 1 million viewers. The audience reacted particularly badly to Bill, who was seen as overly dramatic and grating. This prompted the producers to switch the cast again for Season 8, releasing Bill McConnell in favor of Josh James and Bo McGlone, and completely changed again for the 9th season, with Jeff Zausch and EJ Snyder hosting the show, but the viewership never returned to the levels of the first 6 seasons. Although Dual Survival hasn't been officially cancelled by the network, there hasn't been any news about the show making a comeback since Season 9 concluded in October 2016, so after more than 5 years, it's safe to assume that Discovery Channel has no intention of renewing it for another season. During its run, Dual Survival was faced with some criticism as to how realistic it actually was. While it was partially framed as an educational show, at least in the beginning, the exposed lying from some former cast members hurt the series' credibility. On the other hand, the show has always been honest about certain elements being fabricated, and each episode was prefaced with a disclaimer stating, "On some occasions, situations are presented to Dave and Cody so that they can demonstrate survival techniques. Even the show's stars would sometimes break the fourth wall to discuss how a certain scenario would play out in a real life-or-death situation. For example, in Season 1, Dave and Cody ran across a pair of large snakes, which would be a decent source of meat in a dire situation. They agreed not to touch them, while saying that in a real-life scenario, they wouldn't be able to display such kindness." During Cody Lundin's lawsuit against Discovery Channel, the judge pointed out that Dual Survival is even more scripted than the producers are willing to admit to the audience. For instance, while the show often portrays its host as starving and having no access to water, the reality is that they're always located near resorts, lodges, and hotels, and were even receiving catered lunches during filming. She also noted multiple instances in which presumably wild animals were actually captive animals placed on the set for shock value. The fans were also quick to point out some inconsistencies which they noticed on the show. In one episode, Matt Graham was spotted holding a red Tips book of matches, but when he handed them to Joe Teddy, they somehow turned green and then red again, which indicated that the said scene had to be filmed multiple times and was then spliced together to get the best take. Furthermore, the show's producers liked to add in some drama by making it seem that the survivalist pairs hated each other. The Season 7 hosts, Bill McConnell and Grady Powell, are perhaps the most obvious example of this practice, as they seem to butt heads on screen more often than any other pairing. When they were later asked about how they felt about this, both Bill and Grady said that there were no real hard feelings between them, and chalked up the drama to some TV magic. Scripted or not, people still enjoy watching survival series which showcase the human's ability to withstand the harshest of circumstances. While Dual Survival isn't airing anymore, there are still quite a few survival-focused TV shows out there. Perhaps the most popular such series right now is Naked and Afraid, which has been airing on Discovery Channel since 2013. The show features a group of people trying to survive in the wilderness while completely naked. For the fans of competitive reality TV shows, there is History Channel's Alone, featuring 10 survival experts competing for the prize of $500,000. Each contestant is thrown into the Canadian wilderness with only a backpack of essential equipment. They have to find food, water, and shelter, all while documenting their experience with a camera. Since Alone started airing in 2015, the series has built a dedicated audience, gaining the status of a cult classic. Mountain Men, another series produced by History Channel, is a popular addition to the survival genre. Unlike most other series though, it takes on more of a documentary-style approach as it documents the daily lives of the people who spent years living in remote locations in Montana, Alaska, and Maine. The first survival reality series, Survivor, is also still on air and is entering its 42nd series on CBS, having spawned numerous international spin-offs, the most successful being aired in Australia, Denmark, Turkey, and France. Clearly, such shows depicting the human will to survive battling the elements continue to appeal to a wide audience, otherwise they simply would not exist.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.